I said something about Israel, some humiliation, or something. I was like, oh, I don't want to fight about Israel. Like, I don't want to deal with this at all. I don't want to get involved.
People are waking up and saying, I don't understand why my life is shit. They're back in a new prison, which is blaming the Jews for everything. If I start walking around attacking Jewish people, that's not even rational. There does get to a point where the risk reward just ain't there.
Did two of the main cheerleaders in the anti-Semitic, anti-Israel movement realize it's not worth it anymore? These clips remind me of what Lindsey Graham was saying.
To people in my party, I'm tired of this crap. Israel is our friend. They're the most reliable friend we have in the Mideast. They're a democracy, surrounded by people who would cut their throats if they could. This is not a hard choice if you're an American. It's not a hard choice if you're a Christian. A word of warning. If America pulls the plug on Israel, God will pull the plug on us.
At the end of the day, what is the point? What is the point of going against the Jews? They've accomplished so much in society, whether it be in technology, medicine, science, whatever it is, the Jews are at the forefront and making America great. Maybe Tucker Carlson and this Tate guy have finally come to a conclusion that it's just not worth it. It is not worth it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The first word of the Torah is Bereshit. Bereshit can be understood to mean that the world was created for two things, which is for the Jewish people to perform God's commandments. And the whole world is working together in unison to make that possible. A rock, a plant, an animal, someone who's not Jewish, we're all working together to fulfill God's plan. Everybody needs to be healthy, everybody needs to have wealth, everyone needs to have peace, and everyone needs to be able to do their part. And to attack the Jewish people, it doesn't benefit anybody. It's never benefited anybody. And if you look at history, those civilizations and those peoples that went after the Jews, in the end, they were always the loser. Always. Look at the people of Gaza. Is it a win for them that they attack the Jews? We see it now. Everybody's entitled to their own belief and own opinion. But when people go out of their way to attack another group of people who are successful, who are productive, who contribute to society, it doesn't make sense and it's not worth it because they're contributing and they're adding value to society and to life for the entire world. In the Torah, there's discussion about the levels of pleasure. The highest levels of pleasure for a human being are to be connected to something greater than them. When a person does what God wants, whether it's something as simple as telling the truth, or it could be something as complicated as fulfilling a biblical commandment, which the Jews are involved in and day out, this is the highest level of existence, to do for your Creator. The lowest level of existence is to do for yourself. How do you know somebody is living in that way, that they spend all day just thinking about what they think is good for them? Is that when they believe something or they do something and they realize it's not benefiting them anymore, they quit.
There does get to a point where the risk reward just ain't there.
That's how you know they're an animal. If you're really doing it for God, whether it hurts you, helps you, it's irrelevant. You'll continue to do it because that's the mission. And that's the difference between those who serve God and those who serve themselves. And you see this with the Muslims, and you see this with many different groups of people, that they do things in life because they feel that it's going to be good for them, or it'll provide them with some type of reward, or some type of status, or some type of satisfaction. The Jewish people and all people should live in a way that they are focused on just fulfilling God's will. There are the 10 Commandments, there are the 7 Noahide laws for the people who are not Jewish. For the Jewish people, there are 620 commandments that the Jews are responsible for fulfilling. When everybody focuses on a power greater than them and they commit themselves and their life to that power, that's true joy, and that's something you'll never back down.
I don't want to deal with this at all. I don't want to get involved.
We can see with these two clowns that everything they're doing against the Jews is purely for selfish reasons that they somehow think is going to benefit them. So once they see it's not benefiting them and that there's a negative result of them pursuing those paths, they quit. And they should.